I'm Yoel Israel with Wadi Digital. I'm actually here with a good friend, Liz Cohen. Liz from Hetz. So tell us a little bit about what does Hetz do?
Yeah, Hetz Ventures is an early stage VC. We're based in Tel Aviv. We invest in Israeli companies, and we're very focused on very Israeli sectors: deep tech, engineering, tech, DevOps, enterprise software, cyber, and fintech.
Terrific. So it sounds like all of our clients.
Yeah.
That's terrific. How does it change, let's say, doing marketing as a VC, let's say, as opposed to one of your portfolio companies that they're doing it? How's that approach different?
Oh, it's so different. Basically, as a VC, what we're competing for, and yes, VC is extremely competitive, which is why my role exists, we're competing for founders' attention. We want good deals, we want good companies, and you really have to make a name for yourself for that. So it is 100% branding play when it comes to VCs.
So what branding have you been doing, let's say, since you joined Hetz? What kind of marketing has been successful for you? Or that, let's say, you've tested and hasn't been as successful? What can you share with us?
Yeah, sure. So actually, we've been really focused on content. My background is here at Our Crowd, which, as you know, is pretty content heavy. So a lot of VCs will do events. We do events, but we try to turn those events into content. We're trying to do a lot more focusing on the people in our portfolio without the typical sitting across from a founder and getting very boring answers. We did a drone challenge with our founders where we had teams, pitting up against each other, just showing the team dynamic, because at seed stage, that's really the best thing you can show. So we're trying to be creative about it, and it definitely seems to be working according to the feedback. I'll say what doesn't work, I think, is focusing too broad, how many LinkedIn followers, or I want specific people. My audiences are very specific, so focusing on those is where we have to stay.
Awesome. So you're a very creative marketer, and you understand content, so you can think beyond 2 feet in front of you. What are you going to try new? What are you going to be testing this coming year?
So actually, this coming year, I'm doing something maybe a little more traditional, which is I'm focusing a lot more on straight up content. I'm taking a lot of the interviews and video work that we've been doing in the last couple years, and I'm starting to convert those into different formats, more articles, podcasts, etc. This is not necessarily new, but it's new for us, and I think that there's room in Israel to be a lot more like some of the VCs abroad. OpenView does this really well, Bessemer does this really well. Content machines that are actually putting out very valuable insights. I don't know that Israeli VCs are doing this as well, and so that's our goal for this year.
You're going to start like the all-in podcast for Israeli tech?
We'll see.
Let me know if you need help with that.
Yeah.
So if you were to speak to a younger Liz and you wanted to give her some advice in tech marketing, I'm sure you're far more wiser than you once were. What advice would you give someone that's starting off so they can get as far ahead as they could?
Sure. I think, honestly, young Liz or anyone right now, the best thing to do, work at a startup. Get your hands dirty, feel the risk, feel the pain, feel the excitement, feel the adrenaline. It's the best way to just learn and grow. And then, there's time to go to more corporate-y type companies, bigger companies, but feel the excitement and the energy of working at a very early company. If you can afford the risk, especially when you're younger, I think you can. And so go for it. Get that initial experience, because actually it teaches you way more than anything to be in trouble, be in the good times, feel the good stuff, feel the pain. You'll get to your next job knowing a lot more.
Liz, terrific. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.